sketching rational functions using intercepts, asymptotes, and lines of symmetry. Our example is to sketch the graph f of x equals 1 over x plus 2. So we can start by identifying the y-intercept, and we do that by setting x equal to 0, and we simplify the expression, and we find out that our y-intercept is 0, 1/2. Now our x-intercept, we do that by setting y equal to 0. We notice here the only way that the expression on the right could equal 0 is if the numerator is 0. But because 1 will never equal 0, there is no x-intercept. Now to identify any horizontal asymptotes, remember for rational functions, there is a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0 if the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. So in this case, that is true. There is a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Vertical asymptote. We find vertical asymptotes at places where the denominator would equal 0. There is one vertical asymptote at x equals -2. Slant asymptotes. We find a slant asymptote if the degree of the numerator is 1 more than the degree of the denominator. That is not true in this case, therefore there is no slant asymptote. And finally, we will make a table of values and determine some points, sketch the graph. So we'll look at our table of values now. And what I did was I used my vertical asymptote of x equals -2, and I found a couple of points that would be to the left of that vertical asymptote and a couple of points to the right. So I'm using the x values shown in this table, and then I substitute those x values into the function to get the y values. So what we're going to do in the next slide is we're going to take this information and we're going to graph the function. So remember the y-intercept is 0, 1/2. We'll plot that. There is no x-intercept. The horizontal asymptote, because the degree of the numerator is less than that of the denominator, there is a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. There is a vertical asymptote at -2, because that's the value that makes the denominator 0. There are no slant asymptotes. Remember, we then went to plot some points using a table of values. So we will plot these points: -6, -1/4, -3, -1, -2.5, -2. And then on the other side of the vertical asymptote, -1.5, 2, -1, 1, and 1, 1/3. And so then we'll just connect these dots and we'll sketch the graph, and there is the function f of x equals 1 over x plus 2.